Ah, Jacob. Miss Fry, how good to see you. Oh, have you seen Starrick's latest lies?
Lies in a newspaper?
What transpired from the new line you're establishing?
Oh, the cables we ordered never arrived. And then we intercepted this. A message mentioning cargo seized at College Wharf.
Then let's unseize it.
Oh, wait. Another intercepted wire contained the recipe for a powerful hallucinogenic serum. I've adapted this dart mechanism to work with your bracers.
Alec, you're a genius.
Well, that patently is untrue. Although I've also discovered that the serum adopts a form of a gas when subjected to heat.
Just when I think you can't surpass yourself.
There's trouble on the docks, lads! We need to get this load to Starrick now!
Oh, careful there, Mr. Bell.
Every worthwhile endeavor is fraught with dangers, my dear friends. None more so than yours. But you have triumphed once again.
How do you know?
We have entered the age of communication, remember? We've already received word from Greenwich that the shipment has arrived safely, thanks to you.
Have you discovered what else is in that shipment?
Indeed. I'm afraid that Starrick's poison has found its way onto the open market.
If he believes that will stop us, he is mistaken.
Get Starrick's soothing syrup right here!
It's all he drinks. Your syrup is liquefying him. He's turning him simple-headed.
Now, look now. You are scaring away my customers. Why don't you bugger off, or I'll give you something to remember me by.
You can't talk to me like that, you little gutterling.
What's all this then?
Oh, sod off!
If you'll excuse me, madam. Tell me where the syrup originates.
Up to now? All I know is they make a run each day between the gasometers and the asylum.
Where is the syrup made? Speak now or forever hold your...
The distillery. It's the large building beside the brewery.
Now, to stop soothing syrup production once and for all.
Keep a sharp eye out, lads. Someone's targeting our network. The distillery might be next.
You should not go about frightening respectable gentlemen, young man.
I didn't realize snooping around was considered gentlemanly.
Snooping? Sir, I assure you...
Keep vigilant.
Quick, inside. That was too close a call. You, young man, gave me quite a fright. I thought you were one of them. But I realize now why you're here. Same reason I am, I imagine.
I imagine?
You should see this. Rather impressive contraption, wouldn't you say?
I've seen bigger.
Datura stramonium, or devil's snare as it is commonly called. That goes into the syrup. And opium, no less. Revolting. Absolutely sickening. A favorable way to proceed, wouldn't you agree? Oh dear. Find a way out of here, quickly! Well done, dear boy. Well done. Charles Darwin, delighted to make your acquaintance.
Jacob Fry, the pleasure's all mine.
While you were busy wreaking havoc, I found this. It indicates that a sample of every batch has been sent to Lambeth Asylum.
Oh, I wonder if it's visiting hours.
Don't be so hasty, Mr. Fry. Many people work at Lambeth. You wouldn't want to attract unwanted attention.
What's the fun in that?
Not every problem can be solved by blowing things sky high. Sometimes a little discretion is in order. It's getting late. I will meet you at the asylum to continue our investigation.
No, it wasn't me, not guilty. Beg your pardon. You're the one.
I assure you we've never met.
Is this a prize fighting ring?
You bet your eyes and ears it is, my lord. Milady. The name's Robert Topping. Best bookie in all of London at your disposal. Well, second best, but my mum says Don's a bit of a nincompoop. Anyhow, I can show you a vast array of exciting things. From prize fights to carriage races.
I think we can afford to spend a little time here.
The aura of death surrounds thee both. Get thee behind me!
Alas, these days, stupidity is all too prevalent. You know, I never asked your names when we last met.
I'm Evie Fry, and this is my brother Jacob.
Tell me, do you believe in ghosts?
Not particularly.
Yes.
I'm skeptical myself. Here we are, in the world's most advanced city. Yet its citizens are so enthralled to the supernatural, they leave themselves vulnerable to charlatans. Which is why I joined the Ghost Club. The first society in the world to look systematically at the phenomenon. Because truth, like a spirit, must be cajoled before it will reveal itself. Will you join us?
Sounds absolutely ridiculous. Why not?
It does sound intriguing.
Splendid. I have your first case. There's been some disturbing reports about a series of assaults in Lambeth. People claim they're being attacked by an age-old demon, Spring-Heel Jack. The fiend is no doubt on the prowl as we speak. It's up to you to find him.
It was horrible. Glowing eyes, huge claws, and his laugh. Luckily, he was frightened away by some passers-by. Somebody has to do something before he attacks another.
Out of the way warehouse, lots of guards, masked lunatic inside. This is the bloody life.
I have told you before, sir, I had nothing to do with that anonymous article. Nothing, I say.
That is a lie, sir. And you know it.
Bah, I don't have time for this nonsense.
Nonsense! It is my name and reputation you have willfully besmirched, sir. My very name.
Bah! Drive, damn you, drive!
Yeah. That is Richard Owen, a vile, despicable wretch of a man.
Really? I could have sworn you were close friends.
Mr. Owen works at the asylum. He will know who made the syrup. Get him! What about Starrick's soothing syrup?
Soothing syrup? Why would a scientist have any interest in panaceas?
I wager your life, Mr. Owen, that you know something.
Stop! I'm telling you, I do not know a thing! I swear! Nor have I involved, or have I ever been involved with anyone selling that patent medicine!
There may be some truth to that, but you do know who created it. Tell me!
I will not utter a word on the matter! I am a gentleman, sir, and I...
Next stop, the River Thames. Better speak now, old man.
Stop! For pity's sake, stop, and I will tell you everything I know! Dr. Elliotson! Dr. John Elliotson! He formulated the elixir! He's the man you want! Not me! I beg you, good sir! Stop this madness!
Now, was that so hard?
Yes!
Well, Charlie, I suppose the Ghost Club holds some new horror for me today?
As a matter of fact, yes. Follow me. Number 50, Berkeley Square. 4 stories high and branded, "Beware all those who enter." There have been many strange tales of this dreadful domicile. The earliest report of a haunting was said to be the spectre of a small girl who was murdered by a servant. She could be seen at the attic windows, weeping and wringing her little hands in an agony of despair. Another legend claims the attic is haunted by the spirit of a young woman who purportedly threw herself from the top floor windows to escape her abusive uncle. Her screaming ghost has reportedly been sighted hanging from the window ledge. This residence was briefly owned by a Mr. James Jasper, a choir master and an opium addict. His nephew Edward was betrothed to one of Mr. Jasper's pupils, the fair and delicate Rose. However, Edward disappeared under mysterious circumstances, followed by Jasper himself. Perhaps grief sent him back to the soothing arms of his narcotic mistress. Though this house is vacant, some say it comes alive at night with screams of terror, ringing bells, and slamming shutters. Although eerie, this phenomenon is easily produced by pneumatic tubes and valves. There are claims that a young man was caged in the attic, his only connection to the rest of the world a tiny hole in the door. A young man who was reduced to madness by this extreme isolation. The legends all seem to focus on one room in particular. My word, perhaps I shall wait here while you investigate the source of that laughter. Which is not at all unsettling.
Let me go, you moke!
Why were you hanging around that house?
What's it to you?
Tell me or I'll drag it out of you.
Right. We were there for the treasure. We found a key to the secret passage.
Secret passage?
Yeah, number 50's got a secret passage. Here, take it. Just leave me be.
I've found a lock, but I haven't located the key.
Lucky for you, I've got it.
Get out of my house!
Get clear, Charlie!
Good Lord.
I did it in my mind!
And there was no one whose love for Rosa came near to equaling mine. It should have been enough to keep my beloved nephew away. My poor Ned. Forgive.
Alas, the myth has been discredited. There was no ghost in Berkeley Square, just a wretched soul, driven to murder and madness by guilt and intoxication. I think this is the makings of a rather fine novel. I wonder if I've got one left in me.
These past few days when I've been doing my round, some bampot starts following me. Nervous looking laddie. He's up to no good.
Tell you what, do your rounds as usual. If he appears, I'll keep an eye on him. When we return, put him into the train.
Aye, all right.
Agnes, take care. There's a gang out looking for you.
Ugh, not at all. Just one glaikit laddie following me.
You certain?
Certain as can be.
Big ears.
What do you think will happen, really?
You damn pillock. Sorry, but that woman's from an important gang. Gang? What gang's that?
I think it's in a train.
Sounds like the bastards what beat OK Lock. Alert the lads on the rooftops. We'll take her out.
She's right there. What with the ninny following her about?
Agnes, are you all right, dear?
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be?
There's a whole gang out to get you.
No, some idiot can't even follow me proper.
No, they're dangerous. There might be an ambush in the station.
Dinna be daft. Who are you?
Nigel Bumble.
Why were you following us?
I want to join your gang.
Ah, for Christ's sake, he knows who we are now. All right, laddie. I can use you to tidy up the train a bit, if you didn't mind getting dirty.
Really? Terrific. You won't regret it, miss.
Your attempts to influence Parliament for the Indian cause have failed. You must do more.
I will not jeopardize my relationship with Queen and country to satisfy your crusade.
Your Highness, you belong to India, not here acting the part of a noble foreigner.
I have wasted enough time indulging in this
If your
nonsense.
mother could see you now, the last Maharaja of Punjab, basking inside his golden cage.
How dare you?
I always recommend bringing someone's mother into the argument.
If he doesn't help his people, he will regret it forever.
How may we help?
Will you talk to him? He won't listen to me.
We'll do our best.
Your Highness, you have guests.
I suppose Mr. Green sent you.
Bringing up your mother was...
Impolite, and he was wrong to do so. We'd like to rectify the situation.
Then humor me, and join me in a shooting game. None of these people have any sense of enjoyment, and I am bored to death.
A shooting game? Seeing you haven't changed at all.
Ellsworth? My word! How good it is to see you! The mother country has treated you well. Jacob and Evie Fry, this is Brinley Ellsworth, a friend from a past life.
You've made new friends, I see.
What brings you to this part of the Empire?
Ah, company business, unfortunately. But I could not resist the chance of seeing you again. It's been far too long. I've heard nobody throws a party better than my dearest friend. I'm eager to see if your reputation overseas holds any truth.
My servant Thomas will be scoring the game.
Acquire the most amount of points by shooting the bottles in front of you. Each bottle is worth 1 point. You have 30 seconds. May the best shot win.
I do believe you are equally matched with this one, Singh.
Your turn, Your Highness.
Come, let us see if you are better with a gun than you were with a slingshot.
Allow me.
Impressive. I am in awe, Singh. What they say of you is true.
What on earth?
Sir, I believe I heard a second shot.
He's right. That sounded like a second gunshot. Strange.
Strange indeed. Let me investigate.
I'm sure it wasn't anything serious. Don't bother. Are you suggesting this is a serious matter? It was most likely just an echo. Leave it be now.
I've been doing this a long time. I know the difference between 1 shot and 2. There were most definitely 2 shots.
A second shot? I didn't hear anything. There was no one else. Who would shoot a gun at a party?
What are you on about? Guns are prohibited in the gardens.
I saw the man in front of me with a gun. I just assumed it was part of the decor. You know how royalty likes to socialize.
That prince is causing problems. He deserves to be silenced.
Well, well, well. Seems our old friends the Templars are involved.
Ah, Jacob. I trust you're enjoying yourself?
The second shot...
I told you I won't hear any more of it today. I must go back to my party.
You must fill me in on your life here. It's been far too long.
Apologies, Your Highness.
Any progress?
We're not the only ones who want His Highness's attention.
Don't tell me the British Indies company's harassing him again. They can't afford it.
Well, let's just say it's not just the BIC, and Singh doesn't want any part of it.
The Templars? It can't be.
At this rate, they'll have him before he can do any good. We have to convince him to trust us.
Meet me back at my old shop.
I might know something that can help. This isn't the first time His Highness has had troubles with the British Indies Company. A couple of years ago, they held his mother captive and blocked all his letters to her. Odds are they're keeping his correspondence from reaching the outside world once again. I have acquired the mail courier's schedule. There are 2 separate routes of transport. The first, a mail-carrying carriage convoy. The second, a train. If we set up an ambush, you should be able to seize his letters. Maybe this will change his mind. Start with the convoy. We must block the road. There is a difference between pacifism and inaction.
How many times do I have to tell you?
You two do have impeccable timing.
Can we interrupt something?
I believe these will be of interest to you, Your Highness.
These letters, they are from me. The seals have been broken.
That's how we found them.
This is a letter I wrote to my mother when I was just a boy. Where did you find these possessions of mine?
On a mail convoy.
The Templars. They have a way of getting to you.
I thought I had put an end to it years ago, but the British Indies Company continues to steal my property. You were right to think something strange was afoot.
We must take action, but it will not be possible without your help.
I believe you're right, but I must have some time to think on this. In the meantime, please be discreet. I don't need Her Majesty finding out about this.
Mr. Cletus Strain and the Blighters have challenged the Rooks to a fight for territory in Lambeth. Defeat him and the borough's yours. Look, Sharpie's a bit sadistic.
Here we go round the mulberry bush. So early in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Jacob and Evie Fry. And as of this moment, you all work for us.
Nigel went out drinking with a gang last night. They ran up against some Templars in Kiltwan. But Nigel was too sozzled to get away. Knew the constables have him up for murder.
This is going to go bad for you. Confess, and you'll save us all some grief.
Oh, I didn't do nothing. So help me, Bob. Miss Evie, we kept buying drinks. The next thing I know, they say I burnt someone.
Oh, Nigel.
I had one too many and lost all my things. They must be scattered all about. Oh, and there's a knife out there too. Could you get them before the Rozzers do?
Yeah! Shut up!
And what evidence are you holding this man?
Why, Sergeant?
I believe at a minimum you need a body.
We can't find a thing, Inspector.
You botched another one, Sergeant.
This is... My God, this is Michel Rouge's vault.
Michael Rourke's vault? It can't be.
You have no idea who that is, do you?
I'm the foggiest.
He was an assassin. Father had one of his books. Legend says he found some fabulous treasure near Bath that drove him mad. He locked it away beneath London, in a vault that could only be opened by a set of special musical boxes.
Special musical boxes? Now who's mad?
You seem tired, friend. Everything all right?
No rest for the wicked, Charlie.
Today's Ghost Club investigation involves a carriage. It's said to be covered with gold leaf, dazzling passers-by when the sun shines. Naturally, it's rumored to be haunted. Now let's see if we can find it.
I presume this was once used to carry the mail. Oh, that actually looks remarkably comfortable. Yes, madam. Don't worry. You're safe.
Oh, you've saved me. That wretch would have forced me to marry him within the hour. I owe you my thanks. You have gone to a great deal of trouble for someone you don't even know. What is your name?
Jacob Fry, miss.
You have preserved my honor and saved my life. I am Elizabeth. Won't you climb down and sit beside me so that I might see your face?
Miss? Where are you?
You look as though you're just about to collapse. What on earth has happened?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Good to see you again.
The pleasure is mine.
Shall we? It has come to my attention that the British Indies Company has stolen a large sum of wealth from the good people of Punjab. It is my intention to send it back.
And where is this gold located?
All I've managed to find out is that the BIC have their very own accountant. Perhaps he will have more information about this.
Good plan.
Apparently, he likes to frequent a certain pub.
Oh, you just missed him. He headed to the bank with a couple of men I'd never seen before. Which is odd, because the bank isn't even open now that I think of it.
He's right. We should go to the bank.
Just in time.
You think you can just go shooting your mouth off at any opportunity?
Do you have any idea who you're working for? The BIC accounts are confidential.
I'm sorry. Just let me go and I'll be quiet. I promise you.
Not a chance.
We'll take them out together, but we've got to do so quietly.
You take one, I'll take the other. Ready?
I am indebted to you.
The British Indies thugs have somewhat worked him over. We need to get him to safety.
There's someone intruding on our affairs. Find them and kill them.
Quick, put him in the back. I will take him to the hospital.
There's been a spate of rather intriguing thefts about town recently.
Robberies? In London? I never thought I'd see the day.
They look like common robberies at first, but these perpetrators have all claimed to have been under the influence of some supernatural power. I'm not so foolish as to forget that criminals will spin any yarn to avoid the law. However, these thieves all proffer the same defense. They say they were being controlled by a demon. Will you make some inquiries? One of our demon-possessed mobsmen is being held behind bars at this very moment. You may want to begin your search there.
What's this one in for?
Rob the pawnbrokers down the road. A demon made me do it. I can't remember much. That's what's so queer. I've never stolen anything in my life before.
Who do you think made you do this?
All I can recall is a silver watch, swinging in mid-air. It was held by someone or something. A dark presence whispering. I could only see its eyes. A demon.
Maybe the shopkeeper will make more sense.
There's not much to say. Most of the items did come from the same seller. Enzio Capelli, Sorcerer Supreme, a famous showman from Italy. Several weeks ago, he was forced to pawn his family heirlooms. Debts. I have the address of the last person who redeemed something of his. A lovely pearl necklace. That helpful?
Not again! Stop her! Stop! Somebody stop that thief!
Looks like trouble is brewing.
Where am I? What's happening?
There's some sort of scuffle over there.
You were just indulging in a little light theft.
Well, that looks like a mess.
It's
I
all
should stay
very
clear
easy,
of.
but I remember something silver flashing in front of my eyes. Then I heard a sort of bell. Next thing I know, I'm here with you.
Not a ghost, not a demon, but the great Enzio Capelli.
You are very much mistaken, aren't you, my child?
Yes, I am very much mistaken. Oh, wait. No, I'm not.
You are very much mistaken. And now you are so very, very tired, aren't you?
Yes, I'm very, very tired.
Now, you're going to do a little job of work for me, aren't you?
My goodness, what foul behavior.
What's going on? Where the devil am I?
You've been arrested for theft. How very intriguing.
I don't remember a damn thing.
Let's get you out of here. I've pulled a few strings, and they won't prosecute on account of your losing your mind. Be free, little chicken.
Hey! Someone help! Some trap found something down there! Looks like foul play!
I heard a splash, and right quick pulled this bloke out of the shallows. Dead as a mackerel. I live there now, if you can call it living. I lost my job, didn't I? No need for the likes of me when a machine can do the work. A nice warm coat like that on a dead man? What do you expect? I snatched it before somebody else came along to nick it. Like you. The midnight train? That must be the 616. Stops in the station down the road. If you hurry, it might still be there.
You better hurry. It's leaving right now.
It was a typical evening. As far as I knew, nothing unusual happened until you came aboard with this story of a murder. Just another wealthy passenger. They're all pretty much the same. I was tidying up in the passenger car. Around midnight, Vivian ran through. She thought someone was looking for her.
Nothing unusual. A couple of passengers came in and had a sort of business meeting. One of them was buying a lot of drinks for the other, and then they started to argue. But Vivian went over and joshed them out of it. Peter, nice bloke. Came here after being sacked from a foundry a few months ago. I'll tell you, he looked white as a ghost after he served the businessman.
The odd thing was, some noises on the roof woke me up briefly. You say someone was thrown from up there? You have to be a very strong fella to drag someone up onto the roof. Killian was on this train. Cool. I used to work at his foundry. I never even seen him. None of us workers ever knew what he looked like. Vivian had another of her dupes in her compartment by then. After that, I remember people going past me from time to time, but I was half asleep. Well, Peter worked with me at the foundry. He's a very strong bloke. I got my arm mangled in one of the damn machines they put in. Then Killian sacked the old crew. Peter, he helped me get hired as train staff.
Well, it's a noisy train. Plenty of passengers have trouble getting to sleep, so I keep a sedative here behind the bar, yeah?
I had drinks in the dining car with Killian. We had business dealings in the past. It was a pleasant surprise to discover him on this train. I suppose there were some disagreements, but there always are when a great deal of money is involved. I felt unusually tired and came back here to get some sleep.
Mr. Wolf had a few with Mr. Killian. Then the young lady invited herself over to have a glass with them. Mr. Wolf became terribly tired, even though he'd only had one drink. He toddled off to bed well before midnight. I stayed in the dining car for a few drinks with the barman. Mr. Wolf bought him drink after drink. Then they got angry. But the young lady come over, and it's obvious that Mr. Killian was interested in a rendezvous-like. Around about 11:30, Killian and her left together. I've been Mr. Wolf's valet for going on several years. He's frail and needs a man like me to help him about.
Sam, he's a trusted valet. He's terrifically strong, which makes him useful in many situations.
Nothing unusual at all.
I had a drink with some gents and then retired to my sleeper. Someone slipped a note under my sleeper door a few minutes before midnight. It said I should come to the dining car. I went, but only Ryan and Wolfsman were there, and they were both drunk. The rich fella, I did talk with him. Very charming. But a single woman has to be careful, you know? Did something happen to him? Oh, all right. I flirt with rich blokes and the barman slips them a mickey. I take them back to my sleeper and they nod off before I have to do anything shameful. They wake up thinking they had a night of fun and hand me a few quid. That's what happened with Mr. Killian, but he was gone when I come back from looking for the man who left the note.
You mean the young lady? She and Killian hit it off famously. Embarrassing, really.
She's a frequent passenger, that one. Hangs about with the wealthier sort. Likes to entertain them, if you take my meaning.
That one. Clever little minx. She and the barman got a little scam going. I think everyone on the staff knows about it.
She rides the train often. She's very friendly with the other passengers.
Yeah, I helped Vivian fleece the dupes. I slipped a pill in the wine for the table. Both gents got sleepy, but Vivian picked the richest one.
I gave him what he deserved. The man was heartless.
I believe something larger is afoot. A lot of murderous anger concerning industrialists. Might be something to look into.
Ah, this is one that's most promising.
An important detective is missing. Skullduggery is surely afoot.
Solve it, and I'll write it up quick as you please.
He's a friend of mine. The whole station is out looking for him as we speak. Ironically, he came here on an investigation himself. Seems several people have gone missing in this part of town. We've had reports of missing people over the last few months. Detective Murphy is just the most recent and the only one who's anybody to speak of.
I saw him going into the barber shop when I was on my way to work. In this kind of neighborhood, people come and go.
An odd man indeed. He spent a fair amount of time in here, poking around. Some people around town just seem to vanish. It is mysterious. George delivers that to us. It's amazing. The flowers just grow and grow. Sweet boy. Constantly giving my assistant gifts, a jacket, a handbag, and so on.
George is my sweetheart. I think he plans to propose marriage soon. Maybe even today.
He was in here asking about missing people. Bought a meat pie, he did. Stayed and chatted for a few minutes, then headed off to the barber. I'm told that some people have gone missing, but I don't know anything about it. George delivers meat for my pies. Lovely lad. I pay on delivery. I believe he picks it up from a local butcher shop.
You mean the annoying bloke nosing around? I told him to sod off. I pride myself on the quality of the beef I sell. Somebody selling cheap around here, though. My sales have dropped off. George? I don't know any George.
He came in asking lots of questions. I believe I answered them to his satisfaction. I suppose there are a few people I haven't seen in a while. Why would you want to know about him? Stupid boy. He does deliver tan leather on occasion, but I really have very little to do with him.
Yeah, I gave him a trim. He asked no-ended questions. When I cut his hair, I notices a tattoo right at the base of his neck. A green Celtic cross it was. You're right. Several people have disappeared over the past months. Some of them were customers of mine. I'm trying to quit drinking. Sometimes my hand shakes when I'm given a shave. George was in here earlier, getting an haircut. He wanted to look nice for his girl. He's been seeing Joanna from the flower shop for some time now. Said he's finally saved up enough money to pop a question.
George, I hoped he'd stop by. I want to see his new haircut. He must be at his house. Oh, I do hope he proposes soon.
He was coming too close to figuring out where all those people went. They got parceled out to the baker, the florist, and me.
You very cleverly puzzled that one out. A very unpleasant crime. Perfect for one of Mr. Raymond's penny dreadfuls.
My write-up of that last crime was so ingenious that Purlock Publishing tossed me quite a tidy sum. I believe this next one will do even better.
It's baffling. The room was locked. How did the murderer get in and out?
I'm just the housekeeper, but Mr. Cashin was a dear friend. Each morning I bring him his coffee. Today his door was locked shut. My husband is the caretaker. We live downstairs. We have the keys to all the apartments, so after knocking, I became concerned and let myself in and found him like this. The lights weren't working. My husband didn't want to waste any candles, so we retired early. Mr. Cashin was a respected music critic, a very accomplished man.
Mr. Cashin is dead? I just saw him yesterday. He looked in the peak of health. If you ask me, he paid a bit too much attention to the caretaker's wife. Scandalous, really. They must have seen each other nearly every day. Last night, I was knitting in that chair. Then I felt quite sickly and opened the window to clear my head. I certainly didn't hear anything. When the lights quit working yesterday, that sweet Mr. Golden handed out candles to everyone. He's such a nice man.
Gone just like that, eh? He lived right next door and often came home from his concerts a bit drunk and singing at the top of his lungs. Drove my wife near crazy. Cashin had an eye for the ladies, no question. I was a bit jealous of him, frankly. I was down in the cellar, fiddling with my experiments. That belongs to Mr. Golden. He's an awfully nice chap. We let him use our apartment during the day when my wife and I are out tending our shop. He likes to rehearse here where the light's better. I'm an amateur chemist. Henman let me set up a few experiments in the cellar.
It's true. I loved him. He was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I worked very late. So did he. I only met him once or twice in the 2 years I've been living here. I was out giving a benefit recital for unemployed musicians. Several dozen people can attest to my whereabouts. I use them to create an ambience when I hold private recitals.
Mr. Cashin's dead. Difficult to believe. He led a quiet life. Out at concerts most nights, shut up in his room writing the rest of the time. He must have been a lonely man. My wife felt sorry for him and helped him as often as she could. I'm in charge of the running and upkeep of the whole building, so I can get dirty now and then. I was just doing some work in the basement. I forgot to put it away after I fixed Mr. Golden's music stand yesterday morning. I left it there, and he came to give it back. The gas quit working yesterday. I don't know enough to fix such things safely myself. A man from the company is going to come by tomorrow.
Ah, yes, be careful with that. It can be dangerous. It reacts badly with heat.
He destroyed an entire orchestra. All those musicians put out of work. A rancorous old man who had no talent or creativity of his own.
I suspect there was more to that mystery than meets the eye. I'm going to look into it.